So here I am with Merrill's Marauders, about ready to start. We'll put these guys in the cup. No reason not to. These are set up. My mission. I've already set up the objectives. I have to build bases on the spaces occupied by the 3 real objectives. So I can't shift the objectives to bases. I got 12 operations. I have 50 points to spend and a leader with 6 points of stacking, which is probably the maximum. I look for my leader. Oh, fuck, I'm having trouble seeing. It's got to be this guy. Yeah. Now, like I said, I think I'm going to want to come in this way, but I got to pay attention to some things. I need air supply. And I probably need more than one in case it doesn't recycle. Although I can just pay an RP to recycle it automatically. So that's something to keep in mind. Now I don't have a track for RP left over, so that's a point value I'm gonna have to keep track of as well. I could use paper, I could use whatever. I mean, I have my poker chips, but those aren't opened up, I think. I did open those up, I guess, oh, what the hell was it? 180E or whatever. The big massive one. I kind of remember having to break in for that. Air supplies cost 3 each. What else do I want to do? I'm not terribly thrilled with the idea of moving at speed 1. I could take, these kind of supplies instead. They're cheaper, but I don't have that recycle capability and whatnot. I'm also debating, look, I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense to build a force here. This would cost me 2 movement to get there. I don't really understand the river movement, so I don't know. But yeah, if I swing down here into here, this isn't that much further effectively from that. So 1 good force seems like it's effective. Do I need an engineer? Yeah, I need an engineer to build bases. But here's the problem. I might need a second fucking engineer. If I don't succeed in building, like if he ends up dying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get replacement points. I might from events or something, but I just don't know. Heavy weapons, too heavy. I don't see them as worth buying. Probably want a lot of regular infantry, which costs 2 each. Now I'm allowed to only move 6 units in a stack. So that's got me at like 5 if I build those. Some replacement paratroopers might make sense for bringing guys in here. Do I need paratroopers for that? No, it can be any force. So I could just throw some stuff at a base. And it could be this base up here, in case things go badly here, rather than starting over. But if I got air units, it really doesn't matter where I put them. And so the supply unit actually moves 2, which is as good as an infantry unit. Remember, my infantry, like the supply unit increases the movement of everything. If I bring a supply unit, I can bring heavy weapons, which are expensive, but not compared to the firepower they bring. I'm just trying to balance this out and see what I'm doing, because with a movement of 2, it's not that bad. That's what regular infantry do. If I needed a fast-moving force, I could do a couple of scouts, but then what? You know, rely on air support? Yeah, that doesn't sound very useful. Let me look at my recon. 23.1. It's covered here. Done at the start of an op. Okay, so if I come out of here and go 1, 2, and again, I don't understand what the fuck the water movement is. Like, I don't think I need it to cross the river. The river will stop me, but that's fine. 1, 2, I won't be adjacent to anything. If I was able to get here, I could do adjacency checks on all of those, figure out just the fights that I want to actually fight with a scout. That might be worth the time reduction in order to clear areas so that there's... Of course, I do have to fight in every space that I stop in. Just trying to balance this thing out. I don't know. I'm better off relying on infantry than the heavy, than using the supply in the heavy infantry. Because I would have to commit this. Now I can put 2 of those heavies in there and they'd be more likely to hit. What that means to me is I think I'm going to go with this as my main force. Give me a recon unit. I think it'll be useful. Because the way it works is... I think I can look into 1 hex with that. So that's going to cost me what? 3 for a scout, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Oh, I'm sorry. And an engineer. That cost me 14. I have fucking 50 points. That's a lot. I am going to use money. So I took the 14 off. I have 25, 35, 36 left. If I'm only using one force to do all the operations, that saves me a lot of money, essentially. I want 2 air supply units, just because if I lose one, I'm in trouble. So the money starts disappearing pretty quickly. Air support can do recon for me. Let's get at least one of those for 3. But I still have a lot. Now, I don't need money for bases, but like I said, aircraft and air supply can be turned around by paying. Now, here's the problem. When I build a base, the air supply is going to go away, so I will have to pay for... I will need some cash left over for those. If things go south, I want a couple of paratroopers. They're 4 each. That's expensive, but... Oh wait, I don't need paratroopers. I do not need paratroopers. Because, well, I may want 1. Let's buy 1. Because if things go south up here, I may need to ship more forces. And of course, I can always ship into here. Another couple of these. They're only 2 each. That's pretty good. It's $4 more. I feel like I'll buy another air unit. Air units are not... Oh, wait, I didn't pay for that. I got to recount. I don't think I paid for that. I just paid 3 for it because I was $2 short. But I want to keep some cash for recycling. But I think I can afford another 5 for another air unit. That gives me more recon capability. I can also use them for airstrikes, but I'm more interested for the recon capability. Yeah, I have the scout, but I want to be able to do recon. Kind of the anywhere on the map type, right? I got some more money left. Quite a bit. But this force, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This force is already defined and ready to go. And anything else I put in is just stuff that I'll be shipping in. Which to me means, since I have so few things, I'm not built to deal with this. I'm trying to go faster. I could buy another scout. I think I'd rather buy another airborne unit, I guess. Not that I'm thrilled with paying 4. And I'll keep this as my cash. Now that would get halved for the next scenario if things don't work. But this is how I'm assuming it. So my first operation, you know, I could like have a force up here, but it really wouldn't matter. Yeah, let's put some guys up there. Fine. All right, I move 1, 2 to here. Now what happens? Hey, I'm playing. That's coming from a base, so I don't have to pay any operations. Yippee-ki-yay. That's going to save me some money. The next thing that happens is I think a card is drawn. Let's take a look at how this is written that's different. This is only having to do with objectives. Normally I would have to draw a card, so I draw one. Now I have a psyops. If I don't like it, I can get rid of it. Roll 1 die, place that number of opvar. Win or lose 2 ops. Is that a good card or a bad card? I don't know. It sounds pretty normal. I hope to roll low. I get 2. Oh boy, they're big. I didn't realize how big these were. Take these off. We'll use the boat whenever we can because it's cool. I don't know. And my forces. Well, I'm going to put infantry in the front, a scout, and these. I should have a separate colored die. I won't for this one. Okay, the commandos are a +1. They roll a 5. The Japanese roll a 1. I get first shot against the Japanese. And that's lined up like this. I get to roll 3 dice. I'm going to go for their big unit because I don't want to take the 4 die hit, obviously. And I get nothing. I have fire, but I'm still in the lead. How I read it. So 6 big dice, he's dead. Him dead costs me a kill. Upside down. And we'll put him back. But he's gone. Now I have 3 dice. I'll go for the 4-pointer because I want to beat him. I don't want him shooting at me. I miss. And he shoots back. I think we're going to lose. He panics me. That's not a big deal at all, except that he's going to get fired at next time. Now, I get all these dice, and I get them consecutively. I'll go after the big guy first. I could call in an airstrike. Don't feel like I want to yet. I panic him. I'll go for the next guy. If I panic them both, I've won the battle, but I might want to increase my kill bag. I panic him. So I have won the battle. Now I got 2 dice. It doesn't matter which one I go after. I kill him. That gets me back up to 0. And I'll roll the next 2 dice on their own. And I get nada. But he's panicked, so he goes away. I'm not panicked. I succeeded, so I get 2 ops off of this. I didn't have to pay any to get in there. And, well, it cost me a unit. Now I could spend no ops to move another unit forward. If I'd kept my infantry here, that would make sense. It's easier than inserting a paratrooper, but if I move here, I cause an event to happen there. I don't know if that's worth it, but yeah, I should not have put my guys there. I'll move my paratrooper down there, and I'll draw another card. The Japanese march on India. Okay, on a 5 or a 6, I wouldn't be able to use infall, and it's no effect. I'm going to psyops this and draw a different one. Burmese guerrilla. If the opposing force has a leader, psyops or supply column, give 1 op, gain 1 op, or reveal 1 objective marker. If the operating force. I do. I could gain an op or reveal a marker. I'm going to reveal a marker. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, that's real. We're going to pause for a bit, but hey, we're doing it. It's kind of goofy to put these guys up here. Reinforcing here makes sense. But anyway, we'll stick with what we got. So, I'm on the next operation. I don't have a base this time, so I actually spend an operation to activate. And I can move 1, 2. That's going to pull me a card. I still have a psyops. Impenetrable jungle. Ignore this card if operating force has a sapper or if using air, airborne, or water move. Sure. We're fine. I'm not sure what it's telling me. Oh, I'd lose an op. Okay. All right, that's fine. What about recon? Looks like I don't have to spend an op to do aerial recon. Now, earlier I had something that just gave me a recon, right? I didn't have to spend one. Yes, I had the guerrilla advantage. I have a place to go, but the problem is I don't learn anything by going there. What do I do? Let's spend an ops to recon with the aerial recon. See, it's actually not put in this way. A force conducting can attempt, this is done at the start of the op prior to movement. Yeah, so I'm able to do the air as part of this. I'm going to move this force, but I'm going to air recon this. Did I forget to roll a die last time? I don't know. Even I reveal the objective. I do. it is another real one. So I got 2 bases to build there. If this one's real too, I can just ignore this part of the map. That'll make life easy. Well, I gotta move. Not quite. I've got my aircraft check. I have to check availability. If it's even, the airstrike returns and I get to use it again. If it's odd, I'm going to have to pay. It's even. I get that airstrike back. That's excellent. All right, well, let's head here. 1, 2. We have hit an objective. We would normally flip it over before anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. We get an event. Keep this card. I can reveal 2 objective markers, or take an extra operation, or make an error water move. I've just gotten there. We are going to build a base. Forward base units are held off map until built. Building requires a space occupied by a sapper, I have one, and a supply or air supply unit. I don't have an air supply there, so I have to drop supply. How do I do air supply? The paratroopers there. Somewhere it's got air supply. All right, I'll be time to find this, but air supply is right here. Air supply units can be added to a force at any time without expending an op. Didn't we buy some? Whoa. They're 3 each. Fuck, I don't have the points. Well, I can always recover it. Yeah, okay. So I would have spent the 3 to have one of those. I thought I had already bought one. Okay, so I added to this force. I have the sapper and the air supply there, so I can put a forward base. Where the fuck are those? Oh, this is a forward base. What the fuck? What's air supply then? Okay, supposedly... Oh. Give me those 3 back. I did buy them. They're here. Okay. I drop an air supply. That allows me to build the forward base. That's this. I've now accomplished one of my objectives, essentially. And the base, let's take a look. Air turnaround for reuse. I'm not sure. I think I get a chance at getting it back. Otherwise, this doesn't work because I wouldn't get the refresh price. So the availability check, even it returns. Okay. I think these are here. I'm not sure. I'm gonna fucking put them up here. Just because it's easier for me. We succeeded in that. That didn't cost me anything, essentially. And that means it's the next ops. Now, the cards I'm getting have been really good. Don't know what all that means. Probably have to fight something here. That'll suck. Well, let's do another air recon, I guess. Air recon is a 50-50 thing, right? We fail. We get a refresh check. That also fails. I will spend 1 to get that back because I have extra money for this. I didn't spend my op. Oh, I'm in a base. I don't have to spend. I move to here and I draw a card. Now this is nasty. This is a town, which means the up far have an extra die, so I'd rather not fight them. Disease or weather. On a 1 or 2, each unit can be killed. I'm not adjacent to the base. I'm going to psyops that. Wow, it's powerful having a leader. Okay, pick one of your forward base units at random. Pick the 3 op 4, place them in that space. Combat is initiated. If you have no forward base, lose an op. This is not great. You might want to garrison your forward bases. Turns out. Oh my God. Okay, so they show up like this. My base is like this. And now, you know, I was so excited because I had victory conditions, but who gets initiative? Yeah, I really should have another color die. Commando, Japanese. Commando has the initiative. I'll roll 4 at that 8, but there's almost no chance of me surviving. I do panic that. That helps. But they get 6 dice at me and kill my forward base. And go away. And that means this is again an objective I haven't dealt with. Now, I have to air supply again, build a forward base. Rah, rah, rah. The air supply, I guess, has a chance of not making it. It does make it back this time. And there I am on that base. But without an easy way of like reinforcing those, if there's a lot of these raid cards, I'm in a lot of trouble. And it looks like there's another one, but this isn't the picture. Like this says you must pick at random 1 friendly force. Although that may be a broader situation than I'm expecting. What do I fucking have in my hand? Let's reveal two markers. Let's just fucking do it. That's gone. An ambush doesn't work. Let's see this one way up here. Oh no, that's my other objective. Now I know what these are, but I can just avoid them, basically. Which seems wise. All right, well, it doesn't cost me an operation. I'll walk over here and we draw a card. Force X, gain 2 ops, or keep this card and play it during combat. Roll a die and gain that number of extra die rolls for 1 round of that combat. I guess I can add them throughout. I think I'm going to keep this. I should keep it face up, just to remind me. And I go through the same process, build a base. Let's see if my air supply survives. So I'm okay. A landing point. I could bring in reinforcement units if I needed them there. That would be useful, but isn't terribly valuable to me. I may try to avoid the town, although it's less movement through the town. Really would have liked to have built a base here to get up there, but yeah. I mean, I could. Oh, it doesn't really help. Okay. We spend an op now. And we'll move as far as this and see what our card is. Fight for intel. Place 3 op 4 in the space and engage in combat. If you win, keep the card, otherwise discard it. Huh. 3 is a lot. I could psyops this. 3 is a lot. I psyops it. SOE OSS Air Commanders. Gain an operation and pick one of the following units from your recruit pool at no cost. Scout, supply column, air supply. Place the ground unit with the operating force air unit in the available. Well, I mean, obviously, I take this. I gain my op back. Scout, a supply column, and air supply. I can't take an air supply. Guess I'll take another scout, but I don't really have room for him in my force. But, you know. I spend another ops to move up here. I draw another card. Oh, this was gain 2 ops. I kept it. Okay. Japanese column. Roll a die, divide by 2, and round up any fractions. Put that many op 4 in this space. Doesn't sound too dangerous. So that'll be two units in this space. It is a town, so they get an extra die. Take, stupid glossy counters. They squirt out so much easier. Okay. Put my regular infantry in front. Can't afford to lose my engineer because I need to build my base. I'm going to play this, and that will give me 5 extra dice. I'll take some counters from here just to track that. Do a quick leadership check. I've expended this. I lose 2, 4, 6, 8 Japanese dice plus 1 for that against one of my infantry. I am in trouble. My infantry is dead. Puts me back to -1. Not a good place to be because I'm losing the game, but I'm going to spend 2 of my dice so that I have 5 on that 2, I guess. Let's spend 3. Get 6. We knock him out. That's good enough. Spent this. I don't get to keep those. I'll spend 1 to give me 4 dice that I'll put on the 8. I kill that. It gets me back up to 0, so I'm not losing. I'll spend 4 dice on the remaining unit. That's a kill. That gets me up to +1. I was successful on this fight, so I gain an op. And yeah, pause for at least a moment to light a pipe. Going pretty smoothly and it's pretty easy. But the campaign game is going to change that entirely, and it's going to just be fucking impossible. And I'll show you why in a moment. All right. I'm all good. I'm just going to move my boat like this. Draw one of these. Japanese patrol. There's one op at risk. Roll a die, divide by 2, and round up. Place this number of op 4 in the space. Engage in combat. You know, I don't know. I don't want to fight. I'll psyops it. Bonsai! That sounds worse. Roll 1 die, divide by 2, and round up any fractions. Place this many of op 4 and engage in combat. Op 4 units are not affected by panic. This is worth 2 ops, though. I get 2 of theirs. We refresh. I actually lost a unit. I could have shifted this up, but it would take a couple of ops to get them into place. Let's see who has initiative. This is dangerous. I should have taken the other one. Okay, I have initiative. I'm going to throw an airstrike in so that I get 6 dice against that big guy. Because I need a 6. I don't get one. See if the airplane comes back. It does. I don't know if it's available for this ops. That's part of why I have 2. But they get 6 against the infantry that just went. They kill it. Okay, maybe I lose. You know, this was really horrible. I'll put an airplane in. I get 6 dice against their 4-point unit. I kill that. So I get my point back. And then I pick the airplane. I get it back. Then I'm going to start rolling dice on these guys. And if it gets really bad, I'll throw an airstrike in if I have it available. I'll have to check that. But 3 dice, no. We'll roll the next 3 dice. No. All right, let me see if I have another airstrike, if I can recycle the planes during a single operation. To be a prohibition against it. So I've got this 1 remaining point. I'm going to send an airstrike in again. Might be worth sending 2 in. But I get a kill. That pumps that up. I check the airstrike. I don't get it. I want to spend $1 on that. Remember, I had 50 to begin this mission. I think I'm going to have like 4 or something like that. 1, 2, sorry. This is the leader. 1, 2, 3. I only have 4 units left in my mission. And I can't combine to bring anything here. I can paradrop to insert stuff. That does not seem like a bad idea at this point. Because I don't own any air bases or anything like that. So, just looking to see what I got here. Paratroopers. They must start in a base printed with an airfield. You pick them, you place them on a single other space on the map, and roll a die for each one. It's an operation. You pick you pick an event card because of that. Wow. That's going to make me survive another turn. Oh, I got 2 ops. I didn't count that. There's 1 event card left. If I had memorized the deck, I would know what it is. That's why I don't like, or one reason why I don't like memorizing the deck. All right. Well, let's test this out. Paratroopers. These are going into no airfield. And I guess I roll for each one? Is that what it said? For each paratrooper. Yeah, a 1 will cancel. A bad landing cancels too, probably. This is ugly. I get a 4 and a 1. The 1 canceled the operation, so I don't get to land. But I think I also don't get a card drawn. Okay. The 4 would be a unit lands successfully. I don't know what happens, right? Like, unit remains in base. A unit lands successfully. I think I get one of these 2 units. Hey, he's not a paratrooper. I would have only been allowed 1 of these. Okay, odd it was the good one. Okay, so I just failed. Yeah, those guys are fucking useless up there. If it failed, I don't have to make a roll. Okay. I am just going to fucking move. Let's see what this last card is. Morale check. If the KIA index is currently positive, gain 2 ops. If it's negative, lose 2 ops. If it's 0, no effect. I don't know if I get any points for ops. I don't think so. I'm on the last play. I guess I reshuffle the deck and I go in there and see what I get. Very small deck in a couple of ways. There's not a lot of cards and it's very tiny. It's almost impossible to shuffle. I don't feel like going through my die roll thing with it. Let's go in and see what we get. Fight for intel. Place 3 op 4. I don't want to fight 3 op 4. I'm psyopsing it. Disease or weather. Roll 1 die for each unit in the operating force. You can negate by expending a supply or air supply provided prior to rolling. Also, units in or adjacent to bases are not affected. Okay. Let's check the units. First unit, we're starting from here. This guy's hit. I don't think leaders are units, so yeah, I'd be losing a unit. It's not clear to me if that's a. I don't think I lose points for that. In which case, fuck it, I'll just lose it. I don't care. Whatever. And then I build myself a base because I'm able to drop an air unit in. See if it comes back. It doesn't. Fuck it then. I definitely don't want to spend money on anything at this point. I've succeeded in the campaign. Yippee-ki-yay. These guys didn't get attacked by that nasty attack card coming back. So what would happen in the campaign scenario? Remember, resources are halved at the end. Remove the mission card from the deck. Keep any unexpended RP. That's 6 I have left. For each KIA, I gain 1. Okay, that's 2 more. I'm up to 8. For each real objective, you returned above the minimum. That's 0. I had to get... first of all, I didn't return any, but I had to build bases in 3. I would make an argument that if I could have gotten more than I wanted, that would be great, but I didn't. However, if the next scenario is to be played, when OFPR be called, so there's going to be an extra 1 unit facing me per, and out of my $8, I have 4. Remember, I had 50 for this scenario. Now I have 4. I can build 1 unit, and I have my leader. I don't have all this. I can build 1 unit. All my units go back. That's why the campaign scenario as written is absolute bullshit. And we're going to stop with that, and I'm just going to say, you know, sure, you can make up other stuff. There's something sensible about the idea of if you're successful, you get to kind of snowball that success. And if you're unsuccessful, you should pay a penalty for that. No question. I've got no problem with any of that. But you can't do a mission on 4 points. Am I missing something? Maybe. But that's how the rules read to me, man. And, you know, if it wasn't for the special rule here, I'd have 8. Still not enough to do a mission. I don't know why they're having the points. The amount of points, I feel like the amount of points that you get for the next mission is almost impossible. What that means is, if you want to succeed in a mission, you have to save a shit ton of points. You can't spend your 50 points or whatever. Now, what did I not use? I didn't use 10 points or so. So I used about 40 points. Maybe a little less. I had a few extra. But yeah, I used about 40 points. So whatever I kept off board wouldn't give me much of a mission either. I'm not going to be able to complete something on 10 points or 20 points, right? You know, you need to be able to get about the number that you get in the historical mission. And if that's not the case, it's bullshit. And what's worse is, unlike the historical mission, if you succeed in one, you start facing worse and worse odds. Now, if this was, you added it to that 50 points, but that's not what it says. You keep any leaders. Other units must be recruited normally and brought back. After the first scenario, you do not receive additional leaders. Return all your units to the recruit pool. So you get no units. All you get to keep is your leader. And you get a pittance in points compared to what this mission gave. If I look at these other missions, do they give me more? Less? I don't know. This one gives 38. This one gives 40. This one gives 45. You know, if the amount that I saved was added to this, but that's not how the rules read, it would be viable. I'm not that excited about the game that I really want to play more scenarios of it. I definitely wanted to show why the campaign game, though, just is... How do you get this? You had playtesters here. Now, I assume these are not the only playtesters, because if they are, these are almost all names I recognize in the company, right? Big names. Over here as much? Not as much. But, you know, I'm assuming those are some of them are heads of playtesting groups rather than individual playtesters, because you wouldn't want only 3 people to playtest a scenario. You know, that's nonsensical, right? But okay, you know. But what they certainly didn't do, like maybe there was some assumption that's not written in the rules, and the rules are written differently. What they didn't do was send it out to anyone who could read the rules and correct them and say, this is unworkable. Of course, from what I've heard about DG playtesters, like I've heard from DG playtesters, they send their materials in and are ignored. So, you know, stuff doesn't get changed or whatever. Yay, DG. I've got people telling me, oh yeah, they've gotten better with their games. Yeah, well, not with their rules. These are still, you know, 3W and DG style rules from those eras, from the 90s. Absolute crap. The games might be kind of interesting. You might be able to mod it, but whatever. Okay, here we're looking at Merrill's Marauders. Little game, mini game in the Commando series. I'm just doing this in with the playthrough because honestly, there's not a hell of a lot to say. You know, it's not a bad little solo game. It's something you could, you know. I had a friend who used to play solo stuff often in the basement of Harriman Hall at UB. where we had our gaming club for a long time, and just be sitting down there smoking and fucking around with whatever he had. This would be a fine little thing to carry there. It would be just perfect for, you know, if you wanted to play a solo game at a coffee shop or something. I don't know why you'd want to do that. It's okay for travel and whatever. If you're in a hotel room, you usually don't have a lot of space. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And it's okay, you know. And if you're really in the mood to play something solo, a solo design rule set, it's okay for that. The rules are a little iffy. The gameplay, you know, if you fuck up and buy the wrong stuff, it's not like you expended a lot of effort preparing. The rules, like I said, are painful. But once you have the rules down, you can clean up and set up another one and play it right away. It's not going to be too problematic in that sense. The one real problem is the campaign game is just bullshit. It's bogus. There's no way, as written, that the campaign game will work. Now, is that a big deal? No, because I wasn't excited about playing the campaign game anyway. I did kind of think, oh, it's cool to have that, like, I do something and I get to do something else. The storyline just isn't that exciting. To me, the most exciting part was honestly revealing the campaign cards, the events as they happened, which, now that I know them all, there's less for me to be excited about, you know, which is why I would never want to study them, because that's sort of the most exciting thing for me in such a game. But if you did want to try to play the campaign, you could put some kind of rules together that make it make sense. I would say take your victory points as a modifier to the amount of points that you're supposed to get for the next scenario, instead of as the total amount of points that you get for the next scenario. But that's not how it's written. The total amount of points that you get for a scenario, well, mine was the most expensive at 50, the cheapest is 38. Let's call it 40 points. You're probably not going to get more than 10 points, which you can't succeed in any scenario with. And I don't know. Just pisses me off when I see something that's that blatantly wrong, right? You know, it's just like, how did nobody catch this and flag it? Well, probably somebody did. Probably somebody put it in their little playtest packet, at least one person, and DG just fucking ignored it. That's the kind of attitude I've heard from them across the board. But otherwise, it's a cute little game. I don't think it's horrible. For a solo game, you know, I mean, when you're playing a solo designed game, there are very few that stand out as interesting to me, and I'm kind of like, well, okay, but why bother, you know? But anyway, I figured I'd just clip the review on because I don't have much to say about it, and up it goes.